keep saying we're betrothed?
I know, they're betrothed. Slay.
Audio Jungle.
And we're back.
With our special guest.
With our special guest.
What's up, guys?
Hey, P-Tot.
Long time no
chat.
No chat.
It's been an hour. Okay, so Dickie just gave us the full recap, beginning, middle, end, thoroughly.
Okay.
So now I'm going to hit you with some personal cues. So first, you said that he asked you, like, we should go ring shopping. When did that thought first pop into your head, where it's like, okay, this is the time?
Well, our parents met over Labor Day of last year. So I think the idea was in my head starting in August with the intention of, start now. Mm-hmm. It'll be a while before things actually materialize. So just giving myself all the planning time. So I was thinking August to just start getting the ball rolling. And I'm very much the type that I need to go and see something many times before I know it's like the right thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with like planning things and just in general. I just know I need the time.
Yeah, you need to vet it.
Exactly. So the first thing was making sure that our parents met, and then the week after that we went ring shopping. But It was in my head like a couple weeks before to like kind of start getting the ball rolling.
Yeah. So I feel like the parents meeting was when it was like, okay, everything's going to go down starting that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Was there any like nervousness before, or were you just like, cool cucumber?
Before the ring shopping?
Yeah. Or I feel like even just like proposing ring shopping is just like, okay, the timer has started. We're getting to that phase,
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
I don't think I was nervous about that per se, because there are times that it really starts feeling real, and it's usually when there are like big milestones like the parents meeting. I was probably more nervous about that.
We were definitely more nervous about that.
And again, like we have so much like stuff going on generally that you don't even think about that. Like sure, we set a date, our parents are like, yeah, this weekend works for us, but it really doesn't like sink in until like a day before.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like sitting at Deeksha's house waiting for my parents to pull up onto the front yard type of thing.
Oh my gosh.
So that's like when it starts feeling real. Same with like actually getting the ring, right? You go a bunch of times, but it doesn't really feel real until you're making that final decision. You're between like two. So that's like...
But were you nervous about actually doing it?
The actual process of, no, but it just feels a lot more real when you're making the ultimate decision at the end.
When you're like purchasing it and like doing the full thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you weren't there for the actual like purchase portion, right? That's actually crazy because you never actually saw the final ring until the proposal.
Yeah. And I had pretty standard and like simple specifications. Plain Jane ring. So
yeah, which honestly made it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
It could have been more complicated.
I'm really glad that we did go, because if it's something that, generally she'd be wearing for the rest of her life, I definitely want it to be something that she'd be very happy with.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't think that's the culture in a lot of other countries. I think it's very much like an American thing, going with your girlfriend to go see rings. I know, like, even years ago, our parents didn't do that.
I know, just like, this is what you got.
Exactly.
I mean, also, most parents don't even have rings.
They don't even have rings.
So it's definitely a different process, but I think for the purpose of what it is, it, like, evolved in, like, a good way.
And it's a beautiful ring, so you did great.
Thank you.
When did you decide, so, like, you wanted it to be on a trip, so that was kind of, like,
I wanted to
discuss
just be us two on a trip.
But then, how did you go about choosing the location, choosing the time frame, all of those logistics?
Yeah, so I knew that she wanted to do something in Europe. I haven't been outside the country too much. Mm-hmm. Did like one trip to London and then like Australia, New Zealand. Like not a lot of cultural traveling.
Don't act like
when
Australia
I'm
and New Zealand is just like
Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is I haven't done a lot of planning by myself.
Like trip planning.
Like
big trip.
You went
Big
with
trip
other
planning.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when I traveled with those people, they were seasoned
Travelers.
travelers. So they were leading the effort on a lot of it. But what I realized was the trips that I really like are the ones that have a good balance of city life, nature activities, partying, beach, food, coffee, all that stuff. So I was like, okay, these are all the aspects that make a really good trip. I want to find a place that has a little bit of everything. I think I lean towards the nature stuff a lot more. When you're out there doing something active with your body, you just feel really good. So I was like, I think that that's something that I want to incorporate heavily into this. And then finally, I wanted to be a really pretty location. It was between Croatia, Switzerland, which is where I ended up proposing, and Greece.
Okay.
Well. Yeah.
And then what made you decide Switzerland?
Yeah, I mean, I also had a couple friends that have been to Switzerland, and it's not as popular as a proposal destination as some of those other places, which I mean, they're all beautiful. So I was like, at the end of the day, can't go wrong any which way. I've always wanted to go to Switzerland. The thing that really was like pushing me in that direction was one of my buddies who I traveled with to New Zealand after graduation. We were in New Zealand and he was like, I think the only place that I've seen that's more beautiful than this is Switzerland. And so since he said that, I was like, for the last 4 years, it's been in my head. I was like, I gotta go to Switzerland.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, let's roll the die and like go with Switzerland.
Honestly, I think it was the perfect destination because it's so nature-esque and it's so scenic, but there's also like many cities.
Big
it's like
cities
a great
too,
like collab. Because I even feel like, well, I don't know, I haven't been to Greece or Croatia, but to me they seem a little more like beachy. I don't know if you would get an equal amount of every aspect that you were looking for in those. Of course, they're beautiful, but like Switzerland just seems really like a great balance. And you were saying how it was actually such a relaxing vacation.
Even though we were moving around quite a bit.
Yeah.
The other things I was considering, given that you primarily eat vegetarian, there were some places that have more non-veg diet. And then I have like my allergies where I don't eat dairy. So there are a lot of places where cheese, cream, or like
I know, if you went to Italy,
diet.
that would be harder.
Yeah, maybe. Or like even like France. Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't like generalize necessarily, but I just wanted to make sure food-wise we'd be A-okay.
And we ate real
anything
good.
like that. And like, the food was actually amazing. So
yeah, amazing. Okay, so once you've decided the destination, you really need to talk through your planning process because P had the most extravagant spreadsheet. I feel like you had like
spreadsheet and show me.
Oh my
I want
gosh.
to see.
The spreadsheet like deserves its own moment because it was like the most extensive spreadsheet. It was scheduled out. Like I was like, dang, I have never planned anything this tediously in my life.
Oh my god. I had no idea.
But yeah, I feel like you really were like,
you.
you need to show her the spreadsheet. I was like, wow.
Once the thing was done, I was like,
you were like, we're done.
You're like,
planning.
I'm never looking at the spreadsheet again.
I know. But yeah, like how did you start the plan? Because I think you didn't just book Switzerland and you were like, great, we're just going to go to 3 cities and whatever. Like you really had like the days lined out. You knew the types of activities you guys wanted. So like talk us through that process.
Yeah, so the whole spreadsheet thing, again, like got that from other friends who are seasoned travelers and like I saw the way that they plan their trips and I was like, okay, this is actually a really good way to organize it. So it was basically like, okay, you set your dates, from there kind of make a dump of all the things that you like have to do, other things that you like want to do but aren't like necessary, kind of like the good to have, need to have type of thing. And then I would organize them by the vibe. So it's like, these are the bars we have to go to, these are the restaurants we have to try, these are the activities that we should really do while we're there. And that's how I was organizing. And then I would like kind of drag and drop the activities. So I just started with that as a general outline. You know, I shot it over to your brother and sister-in-law. And they were like, yeah, this is awesome. That was just like V1.
I had no idea you did that.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to get an idea of if they think that would be like the vibe that you like, which I kind of figured. Like I obviously know you also.
Yeah. Right.
And then you obviously have to slot time for food. So I would just like block lunch, dinner. And then I know you love your coffees. We do that in New York all the time.
Need it.
So, you know, would slot that time for morning. And that's how I kind of started like backing into like how to fill it out. What I was aiming for is every single day we have one activity that we maybe book. Because I think the other thing is when you're traveling with friends, you're interacting with different people. But when you are traveling with just one other person and your significant other who you already spend so much time with, it can get mundane over 5 days if you're spending all that time with the same person. So I was like, it's definitely worth it to book tours and book activities where there's other people involved, whether it's tour guides or other people, because even those small interactions that you have with those other people are great ways to break it up and feel like you're exploring it with other people. And, you know, they might not be your best friends, but it's refreshing.
You're not doing like everything like fully alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
I completely agree. Honestly, the tour was we did a chocolate tour. It was so lit. Met a bunch of like really nice people from like all over Europe, and the tour guide was just like a young girl around our age. And and then we also went canyoning, which was crazy. Like this was the day after. We literally did risky activities before and after our proposal. And we went canyoning with like this group of people. It was so fun. I didn't even know canyoning was a thing, but it's like where there's like a stream between 2 mountains and you traverse through the stream in like very unique ways, and you're like fully in a wetsuit, water's cold AF, literally swung around like,
you're
and
like Tarzan.
we're like what is it called? It was literally Tarzan. We were like rappelling down.
Oh my gosh.
It's just wild that like you could do this with like first timers.
You're jumping off small waterfalls, 10-foot, 15-foot waterfalls.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the Superman dive, so you're gonna dive like this. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But it was a super fun experience, and I think that was like probably a highlight. And that was nothing we planned. We did that because we ended up not doing the boat tour thing.
Yeah.
Like we did this random activity in the morning, and this was the day we were leaving to. Totally worth it. I would do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We booked skydiving as well. Did you guys talk about that already?
We talked about it, and it was just crazy because it was a helicopter. And P's actually the one that was more scared about that, which is hilarious.
I forgot what you sent me on text, but you were like, I'm the one who's not down for this, but Deeksha is. You were like, I'm just like not into heights like that, but like we're just gonna do it.
Well, when we first met, she was trying to convince everyone in our like intern group to like go skydiving.
Really?
We were juniors in college. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a menace.
And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's my thing. But yeah, I mean, I thought it would be a good full circle moment to
eventually
just book this thing and then surprise her the day before the proposal. She was already excited about that.
I know.
She was like, oh,
You said Switzerland, that's like first place
thing
my
that popped in
mind.
my
You're
head.
like, I was like,
jumping out of a
we are
plane.
jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
the place to do it. That's where everyone does
And I
it.
was like,
so
can you not steal
wild.
my thunder? It's already in that.
Yeah, and he was like, orientation, Deeksha.
Oh my gosh. That was some real elite vacation planning.
Good
like,
job,
you
Pete.
really need to see the spreadsheet. I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm
oh
shook.
my god. Like, I was like, this is something I could find on a website.
Really need to see it
You
then.
need to see it. Okay, talk us through your nerves, because we already talked through yours. When did it start to really sink in that this trip was the proposal trip?
I think I was completely cool leading up to
That's a cute.
Super
to the
cool.
thing. There was a lot of things that I needed to get organized, right? Like I was trying to give her a list of things that she needed to pack, which I was coordinating with you and all of your roommates.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Who are also very helpful.
It was mostly, like, it was so easy. I feel like you
Yeah.
would just be like, double checking, this is cool, right? And I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, there was like those little details that I was just ironing out leading up to. But I think given that I gave myself basically like 9 months to do the planning end to end,
Yeah.
I had a good feeling about it and was very comfortable like leading up to it. But then during the time that we're actually there, we're booked up. So like we're doing the activities, we're doing the events, we're moving around. We start in Geneva. I'm planning to propose a little area outside of Interlaken. So I'm not really thinking about it actively until the morning of. We needed to be up really early because we had to catch 2 buses, a train, and 2 gondolas to get to the location in the Alps where I wanted to propose. We woke up at like 5:45, 5:30 or something. And I was like, I hit the snooze button.
I woke up.
Yeah, she woke up because she was like, oh my god, I gotta get over here.
Yeah.
And I hit the snooze button and I was like, yeah, I can wait 15 minutes. It's all good.
Right.
But then the nerves really started hitting when we were on that first bus. And we were just like sitting, just like looking at each other across the thing. And like everyone's in their paragliding gear. Everyone's got their hiking backpacks.
You look very.
I
displeased.
wish there was a photo of like the two of you in like a suit and a dress.
Yeah, and
just on this bus with a bunch of like hikers.
Yeah, and like, okay, you know, people don't think much of it there. Maybe we don't stand out as much. But then, like, you're on that last gondola. People are looking, and I'm, like, catching eyes, and they give a little soft smile, and I'm like, and I can't feel my legs.
Oh my
and,
god.
yeah, just out of, like, nerves, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also trying to, like, navigate where we need to go to meet our photographer. Ran into her in the middle of all of this, like, commuting up to the mountain.
And I had no idea about that.
And she had no idea, so I'm trying to be, like, really subtle, but I'm trying to, like follow her, but not follow too closely.
Right.
And then she's like, over here. And I'm like, all right, Deeksha, I think we gotta go this way.
Aww.
So, yeah, I think that it was, like, nerve-wracking in that time itself, in that, like, hour and a half commute.
Yeah.
And then we get to the spot, and again, I've never seen the spot before myself, only on video, because our photographer, super nice, amazing lady. She went a week before, and she'd scoped it out.
Wait, she went to the place?
Yeah, I think she may have had another proposal or some
Oh my
other
god, I had
photo
no
shoot.
idea. Wow,
Yeah,
I'm
but she was
learning a
also a
lot.
really outdoorsy woman, so she could have just been in the area doing paragliding and whatnot. But yeah, she sent me a video, and I was like, this is gorgeous, this is perfect. But like when you're there, looking left and right, I'm trying to scope it out. I also I have a big hiking backpack, because
Yeah.
I packed all of this stuff, like a alternative pair of like sneakers for Deeksha.
Yeah.
It was supposed to rain that day in the forecast. I was checking that was another thing that made me nervous. It was supposed to rain. It was in the forecast like 10 days in advance, and it was changing every single day. So I like bought these raincoats, bought an umbrella. I had a little photo album that I put together. I had a champagne bottle. So this is all in my big backpack. I had no idea
all of this was. Like, why do you need that big of a backpack? I literally was like, use my backpack. Like, why do you need all this
so I'm
stuff?
looking around. I'm like, where can I ditch this backpack so it's not in the pictures? And I'm like, where do I sit Deeksha down to go through this photo album?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, where do I actually propose? Do I do it at the same time? So all of these thoughts are running through my head in that moment. But I was like, let me just try to stay present. It all ended up like working out really well. And our photographer, after a certain point, she like came out of hiding and she was like, I would suggest we walk another 5 minutes. You should do it there. And at that point, it was like good because
you had already like seen the
photo album,
the letter, and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Deeksha explained how you narrated every step of the proposal. Do you remember doing that, or were you just
No,
like,
I did.
out?
So I couldn't feel my legs at first, and then when we got to that spot, like 5 minutes away, and the photographer was like, "Do it here."
Yeah. It was so funny.
I blacked out, right? And I was like, oh my, like right here.
We saw cows, and he's like, Deeksha, are you sure there's like cows here? And I was like, Pete, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the flora, but there was fauna in the back too. And I was like, what do I do about this?
It was like cows with like bells. We're in farm on a mountain.
Yeah, you're in the Alps.
It's like, how these cows get here?
Yeah, I didn't want her to be like, P, why'd you do it in front of the cows? Now we have to go another 5 minutes and do it again.
No, I was like so chill. I was like, do it wherever, I don't care.
Yeah. Backdrop was really pretty. Yeah, the narration was kind of silly.
It was crazy. It was so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember because leading up to, I would like check the ring, and every time I would open the box, it would like not be in its spot. So I was like, I don't want to just like turn around, pop it open, and it just be like
it's like
on its side. Like just not on
like,
the hook.
Like he's like, I'm adjusting the place.
And then it was like the small details of, you know, what knee are you supposed to get down on? Is there a knee?
Is there a knee?
Apparently online most people say you should do your left knee down.
Oh.
But I don't think it really matters, right?
Yeah.
But that also worked out well because I know that generally I prefer my left side for photography.
Oh, of course.
And
she
has
a side.
So that actually worked out really well from our angle. So this is all the stuff that's like running through my head. But that's also why I like wrote a little letter, which took me a couple sittings actually to like come up with.
Yeah.
Just to like really process the real thoughts and emotions. So I think that captured it really well. And also from what I know, talking with my other like friends and like colleagues and whatnot, when they got engaged, they all did the same thing. They just kind of babbled in the moment. Can't really remember what they said.
Yeah.
And then it just happens. So
I think the letter was really smart because like you're never going to be able to properly articulate everything you want to say. And you'll have that forever, you know?
No, I know. I mean, I literally came home, read it again, and saw it again.
So anytime you need to cry.
If I need to cry, I can
it works for some people. Others may, like, prefer to just be in the moment. So it's just kind of, like, what you prefer. Mm-hmm. But I just thought that would capture my emotions a little bit better.
I feel like you said something like that. You were like, I don't think I can say anything I haven't said in that letter, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
It's very sweet.
But it's kind of cool how things, like, work out because... You know, 5 minutes before that, we sat down and went through the letter. And
that was like it was almost like a break.
And
that was like an emotional break.
Yeah, and like you cried during that time. And
yeah.
That was fine and all. And then you obviously didn't want to be looking like you had just sobbed when it was actual proposal time.
Yeah.
That little 5 minutes in between.
I mean, I thought that was going to happen all day. I didn't know you were trying to go somewhere else. I thought the bench shirt was where it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice that it was somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't plan 100% of it. You got to be okay with like going with the flow a little bit.
Especially when you have no idea like the area. It's not like you've been to Switzerland and planned
you
this out a million times.
Yeah. I think there's so many unknowns, but it's like everything worked out so perfectly. And it was so beautiful, even though I wasn't there, but I was thinking about it. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, and we have to discuss Precha's FaceTime. Basically, we called Precha at the bottom of the mountain because she was up. And
I literally was up at like 6:45. I was like,
she was one of the first people to wake up.
I knew. So, I was like, oh my gosh.
We called Priya like when we were like 3/5 away back to our hotel. Priya was fine on the FaceTime. She was like, like super hype, whatever. And then we call like 20 minutes later. We get to the hotel. We're outside. We're like, finally, like we changed, we relaxed, whatever. And then we call prayer, she's sobbing. And then we're like, what happened? And then she was like, I've been crying for the last 20 minutes.
I feel like when you first FaceTimed me, I was like in shock. I literally remember Deeksha was like, okay, I'm gonna call you. And I was like, give me 5 minutes. I need to brush my teeth. And
yeah, like she was like ready for it.
I literally like ran, brushed my teeth, came back, and then you called me and I was like, oh my God. And then like something about it just like hit me after I hung up the first time. And I was like, oh my God.
Wiping tears off her face.
I was crying. I like literally was crying. Also, that was the weekend that nobody in the apartment was here. So I was just in my room sobbing alone for 20 minutes. And I was like, oh my God. And I have these stupid screenshots from the first call where my face is over the ring. Like, I literally was like, you need to call me back because none of these screenshots are useful because I've just covered the whole hand. Even though everybody, including Deeksha, knew this was coming for the trip, it's just so wild when it actually happens. I don't know. Like,
I mean, it felt wild for us too.
Yeah. I feel like it just like hits you in a different way and then it's so like real in that moment.
Yeah, it was a really fun trip too. It felt like a good vacation, not just like a proposal trip.
Yeah, I feel like you guys really got the best of both worlds. I think it was a great call to do it kind of in the middle where you get to like settle in and then the proposal and then you have like ample amount of time to relax and enjoy. So
I think something that was really great was that we told our closest friends and our family members, but we did not tell Instagram or like the world.
Didn't post it up, yeah.
We didn't post it up on the day of at all. That was honestly very nice. I was eager for our photos and like really excited about it and like wanted them, but I also was like, it's kind of nice living in this bliss where it's like not everyone knows and you could just enjoy with your closest. I highly recommend that, honestly, because it's almost like a new wave of excitement when you like share broadly with everyone else. So it kind of prolonged the hype.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, definitely.
For at least us.
Extended the hype. The calls were really fun too.
So fun. That was probably my favorite part.
Because of the time difference, everyone was waking up on the East Coast.
Like waves.
As our day was going on.
I know, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and the rain actually held out, so it started raining like later in the day. So that was like a great time that we were just kind of like...
in the hotel room. We had nothing to do.
And just kind of taking it all in, so...
Yeah, that was all really nice. Good job, Pete.
Stellar slay, P. That was like such an iconic proposal. You killed it.
Killed it.
Okay, so other than obviously the proposal, what was each of your most favorite part of the trip?
There's this bar.
I knew he would say that. I literally knew it.
Barracuda.
Okay.
Which looked like a place that maybe earlier in the night locals would probably hit. Mm-hmm. But then later in the night, it's like all young people who want to stay out a little bit longer. But posted up there after had a dinner reservation plans. We did a little like Italian dinner. Then I was like, I don't think I want to go home. But our dinner was like a little on the like a little fancy dinner type of thing. But I was like, I don't want that vibe. I want to go like chill and relax.
Do something chill,
So yeah, we hit this spot Barracuda, which was like kind of like pub type of energy. And we were posted up. I'm having an IPA. I'm looking to watch some French Open.
Yeah.
Our homie, the bartender, switches the channel. I'm watching Tiago
Hold up.
play.
We also saw P's skydiving instructor.
Oh, yeah. You guys were texting. You're like, literally, we just saw our skydiving.
Sancho is at the bar.
You're
I'm watching the French Open. And then there are these like 6, 7, 8 frat bros who are like blocking the screen. And I'm like, hey, scoop. And I'm like, hey, you can sit down. We got like some extra space.
We had honestly kind of the best seating arrangement for like the TV.
Yeah.
And like just no one was sitting there when we got there. And then the place got really crowded. And it was very much like enough seating for like 4 people at least. Yeah. But it was just us 2. I thought they were like from Europe for a moment. He's like, no, Deeksha, I'm pretty sure they're like from the US.
Yeah.
Then they just started chatting it up, casual small talk. And then we realized they're from UVA, like they just graduated from UVA.
The fact that it was from UVA.
And I literally was like, shut up. I went to UVA and then I got hype. Okay. And they were like, oh my God, what year? And I was like, 2018. I feel so old. Okay.
Yeah, they're like, we graduated high school in 2019.
And I was like, oh, stop flirting with me.
I'm married. Actually.
I was like, I'm engaged. Stop flirting with me.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
But yeah, we closed out that bar that night. It was like, it was
fun. And he was like
gosh.
getting drinks with these guys. He was like, I'm gonna get him a beer. You want anything? I was like, no. It was so funny because they were like, how'd you guys meet? They still didn't know we were engaged. It's a surprise trip. Like, I didn't really know we were gonna be here, but we went on our summer internship. They kept asking us in waves because it would be like one frat bar goes, gets drinks, come back, and like, oh, how'd you guys meet? Like, it kept happening like that. And then we were telling another guy, well, one of the guys was overhearing, and then we're like, yeah, I was like, yeah, it's a little nerdy, but like we met during your summer internship junior year. And then this other guy that we had talked to like 20 minutes ago goes, you mean cute as fuck?
Wait.
But yeah, it was kind of like a trip because it was low-key the perfect way to end this like whirlwind of the day.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Aww.
Other than that, like skydiving was
Canyoning was lit.
yeah.
We had a lot of
beat those.
highlights. Yeah.
Lots of highlights. Perfect closeout question.
Okay, wait.
What are you guys most excited for in the impending year of festivities?
I mean, we're planning something in Virginia for friends and
Yes,
family.
I mentioned
so
that,
that's going to be probably a lot of fun. Yeah, I would say the party.
The party?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it's
He's
gonna be so
a
fun.
low-key party animal, people.
No.
Yes, he is. Like, he just
Yeah.
needs to, you just
My
need to...
mom is going to hear this. You can't say I'm a party animal.
He's a social butterfly once in a while.
Yeah, he loves a good party.
He loves a good, he loves the energy of a good party. He likes a light send. I'm so hype about the party. I'm also
excited
could be.
too.
It's the highlight of my
turned
summer.
into something bigger than we planned, which always happens with Indian parties.
Right.
But we're very excited about
It's
it.
gonna be so much fun.
I had no idea we would do it this big, and I don't even think you had idea. Like, P was planning this actually before we went and did our proposal, and was already like talking about it with our parents. And I think one of the cutest parts actually was we were hanging out with my family in New Jersey like the weekend before Memorial Day weekend. My like brother and like sister-in-law came too, and it was so funny. I was like showing my mom, my sister-in-law, my dresses, and I was like, which one should I? I'm like pretty sure it's this one, but like, which one do you guys like? And they were like, yeah, that one. And then my dad comes upstairs, and I was like, I mean, this is before Pete actually came. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna probably get proposed to on this trip. I'm gonna get engaged. And like all my family was there. My dad just goes, no, he's probably just going on a trip. It will probably happen later. Why would it happen right now? And I was like, okay.
I mean, we were trying to keep it.
It was very sweet because my parents were definitely like trying to like keep it as and my mom kept being like, where are you going and who was coming? It was like at one point I was like getting my own head. I was like, do they actually not know any of this? Like, what did he tell them? What did he not tell them?
Yeah, they were
you
like,
know?
can't believe they didn't even ask me. He didn't
Yeah,
me.
my mom for 2 months was like, didn't you say they have to ask first? So I can't believe he didn't even ask us. When is he going to ask?
Which I made a trip down to Virginia.
Yes.
Which I fully knew because I was tracking his location. And then he turned his location off. And I was like, that's unique and interesting. You're in Virginia without me for one day on a random. He literally leaves on Sunday, comes back on Monday, and I'm like, interesting. He goes, I'm going for a puja, and I was like, since when are you the most religious man on earth?
Let there be an air of secrecy.
I know, and I literally was like, I'll let you have it. So I wasn't asking aggressive amounts of questions.
I mean, how else do you get someone overseas for a trip when you've never planned a trip with them before?
Yeah.
And have them get their nails done before, and have them pick up their own dress. Because there's no chance I was going to do that well without them knowing.
You should tell the people about how it was like asking my parents.
Oh yeah, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was like a 30-minute thing.
It was like 30 minutes.
They knew I was probably coming to ask for that because
I feel like if you just asked up for a one-on-one with the parents,
yeah,
like what
they were
else?
like, you're coming down. They were like, yeah, we knew something was up when like, you were trying to come over, like just like that, you know. And yeah, we just chilled in your living room for like 30 minutes. I told him some of the details, showed him some of the pictures of the place where I was looking to propose.
Oh, really?
Of like interlocking and stuff. And then we ate curry puffs and mango.
Oh hell yeah!
What did they say?
Really successful.
They were just like
what did you say?
They just kept saying okay. They just kept saying okay.
Wait. Like, what did you say?
So I kept saying like, if that's okay with you. Like I was trying to get the yes.
You said that?
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to get your blessing, is what I said.
Okay.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. Okay.
I mean, that's like what Indian parents think is yes. Like, they're not going to be like, yes, Prashant, you can marry our daughter.
Yeah, I just wanted an explicit yes.
Yeah.
And so I kept saying it, and I was like, yeah, I want to take her to Switzerland, if that's okay.
And they're
so
like,
funny.
okay.
Aww, sweet. That's nice.
That is so cute.
And it was so funny because I went home like 5 days after that, and there was this big ass Godiva box of chocolate. And then I looked at it with a curious eye, and then I was like, oh my god, Godiva? Who got this? And then my mom goes, oh, Dad got it from his work. He wouldn't get it from his work. I just know that. And I was like, okay. And my mom literally insisted I take the box back to New York.
So that was your box that you gave them?
Yeah, literally I pull up to your place on Tuesday evening and I see the Godiva chocolates that I gifted on Sunday evening, sitting in this apartment.
I mean, yeah, because my mom doesn't eat chocolate, and my mom was like, take it, otherwise your dad will eat the whole box.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
That makes
It was
sense.
like more about the gesture.
Yeah. And it was
funny.
so
'cause
funny.
I was like, hey, where'd you get these Godiva chocolates from?
It's
She's like,
all
yeah, my
coming
dad
full
got it
circle.
from work.
You are the most. Wait, what's your most excited thing?
Well, honestly, I'm kind of depressed about moving out because I live with my best friend. Kind of the best case scenario for me.
Right.
But P's moving home for 10 months, which is obviously mixed feelings. I am excited about that, but I gotta say, I'm very excited to celebrate with our closest friends and family at our engagement party. And I'm also really excited, honestly, to start the wedding planning process. I think I mainly just want to, like, lock down the venue and just, like, get things moving. I feel like the best days are low-key right after your wedding. I'm, like, excited for the wedding, but, like, I'm also, like, I would rather the days after the wedding where it's, like, you're in bliss.
Yeah,
and
you're like, it's done.
It's done, and I can, like, live my best life now.
Yeah.
Which is, like, hype.
And kind of, like, I really like the days leading up with, like, all your closest friends and family.
Oh my
I don't know
God,
how
I
that
love.
feels when you're actually the bride and
No,
groom.
it's so fun.
But
I
it's,
feel
like,
that
so
gets
hype.
you hype. Yeah, like,
Kind of
seeing
everyone's,
everyone
like,
together.
doing things
Yeah.
and, like, planning and setting things up, but it's, like, funny and fun and family time.
Yeah,
so.
I love that. You're so right. That is definitely like my highlight of any wedding is like even the pre of any wedding is my favorite. I love the pre-events. Those are my favorite more than like the wedding and reception. I love everything in up until the 17th is my favorite stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Absolute
I
favorite.
fully agree.
Spending some good quality time.
Yeah.
We're also getting a little sneak peek into how we plan together with this
With the engagement party, yeah.
We're figuring out the things that she's good at and the things I'm good at,
Which I think is a good balance.
which is a good
He's actually a lot more particular than I thought he would.
That's good.
In
I
a
feel
good way.
like
He
it's
knows
like
what he
not in a
wants.
bad way.
No, he knows what he wants, which is
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And it's like, that helps you guys make decisions faster. It's like stressful when it's all on one person, I feel like.
Yeah, so far it's been pretty good. And considering we did this in like 2 months, I feel good about it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's similar to a proposal though, right? Not 100% of everything is going to go according to plan.
Which is expected, especially when there's like more family and friends involved.
Yeah, so as long as
Yeah.
you accept that, then it'll be okay.
But we're gonna do plenty of episodes in the future about planning and all the like details with that, and I'm excited to hopefully share more about that journey as I go along with it. And you guys,
The wedding content.
you guys
gonna
can
be
learn with
flowing.
me. But I'm excited. It'll be a fun time period.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm so excited. And this will be the highlight of my life too. So,
Oh my God, we're engaged!
You can find me at ptotteja1000 on my Instagram.
Plug yourself.
PT6365 on Snap.
On Snap.
Where else?